Okay, great. Thank you all. Thanks for confirming. Welcome to the Data Engineering with the Google Cloud Platform Engineering course. Today, we are going to have our first demo on this particular course, Data Engineering with the Google Cloud Platform. In this one, what we are going to see is that we are going to see the agenda for today's session is that what is data engineering. Okay, let us try to understand what is data engineering and the role of a data engineer, the roles and skills of a data engineer. If one wanted to become a data engineer, what are the skills they have to learn? Those things that we are going to discuss. And after that, we will also see what is Google Cloud Platform, why we need to learn the Google Cloud Platform, what are the relevant services in the Google Cloud Platform for the data engineering, the benefits of using the GCP data engineering also we will see. Okay, so this is an agenda, and after that I will also tell you what is the course details, like the course timings, the course curriculum, all of those details one by one we are going to discuss today. First, we are going to understand what is data engineering and what is Google Cloud Platform. Once we have discussed all of those details, then we will go to the course details, course curriculum, and if anyone have any questions on the curriculum or anything, any of the topic, you can ask me in our question and answer session. Okay, so let us try to start. And if you guys are unable to hear me, please let me know. If you are facing any issues with the audio or a video, please let me know. Okay, yeah. So let us try to understand what is data engineering. So it's very simple, guys. Data engineering is very simple. For example, you might have known that data will be generated at multiple places. For example, whenever you try to order some kind of a product, okay, you wanted to go to the Flipkart and you wanted to order some item in the Flipkart, then there will be a data generated. You are doing some kind of a transaction, that means the data generated. Or you wanted to order some food from the Zomato or a Swiggy, again you are generating a data. So whenever you are interacting with any of the application, in the back end there will be a data generated. Okay, so you are interacting with an application, or you are watching something, you are searching something, whatever you are doing in the internet, there will be a data generated. So the data can be generated at an application when we are interacting with an application. Okay, those data may be available in the file formats. For example, if you go to some kind of a production industries or a manufacturing industries or a healthcare industries, what will happen is that instead of storing the data, whenever you go there, they are actually filling the data in the form of Excel files or a CSV files or flat files. Okay, sometimes the data may be available in the file formats also, something like CSV format or a JSON format or a Avro format or a Parquet format. So you will be having a data in the form of a different formats as well. Okay. Sometimes you also get a data in the form of a databases. So you have a MySQL database, PostgreSQL database, you have a SQL Server database. So you may be getting the data from these databases. Sometimes these databases are also your data source. And you may be getting a data from some kind of a IoT devices. So what I am talking about is that these are all the possible data sources. So when you go and work in a company, your manager or your client says that our data is available in the CSV format. We have to extract the data. Or when you go to the other data engineering project, they says that so our data source is a MySQL. We have to extract the data and do the analysis. When you go to some other device, some other project, they say that our data is there in the application. That application backend is some SQL server. We have to extract the data from that. Okay, so you may be having a data coming from multiple data sources such as application or a file format or a databases or the IoT devices. Okay, so our sensor devices. So what is our agenda as a data engineer? What is our agenda? As a data engineer, our agenda is to provide the data, a cleaned data to the BI, a cleaned, properly cleaned the data which is useful for the analysis. That data we have to give it to the BI. That is our, destination team, we can say, target team, our downstream team. Our upstream team is a data source team. Our downstream team is a BI team. We have to provide them the cleaned data. We have to provide them the data which is useful for the analysis, so that those analysis data will be useful for getting the insights for the business. Those insights will be very useful for the business to take a decision. Whenever they take a decision, there will be a business improvement will happen. Okay, so the main agenda of the data engineering or data analysis is that business decision making. So whatever the data that we are extracting, we have to provide those data in a cleaned format, a data prepared format. So whenever you send the data in a analyzed format, those data will be useful for creating a dashboards or a reports or a visualization uh, picture, so that the business will able to easily understand the business, and they will take a proper decision for the business improvement. Or sometimes we may have to send the data for the machine learning team as well. So the machine learning team will extract this data, whatever we have analyzed. That data will be useful for them to create the machine learning models. And sometimes the data will be useful for the data scientist. Whatever the data. See, I was not talking about the data. I was not talking about this data. I'm talking about whatever the activity we are doing. This is data engineering. I have not started about data engineering yet. Okay, so this is our source team. This is our target team, are nothing but a downstream. So what we are doing is that we extract this data, we try to clean the data, we try to store the data, we try to create the pipelines. All of those activity we are going to do it. That I will tell you. This step I will tell you. But where we are sending the data, we have to understand our what is the use of our data engineering. Our data engineering activity is useful for the BI. Our data engineering activity, whatever we are doing, is for the machine learning. Our data scientist. Tomorrow it can be a business group, right? So we may getting the data from these data sources. We are sending the data to these destination, our downstream people. And what we are doing, if we wanted to provide a data for the analysis, if we wanted to provide the data for the machine learning model, if we wanted to provide the data for the data scientists to provide the future trends, we need to extract this data and store it in a single platform that is called data lake. We need to extract this data from multiple data sources, and we need to store this data in a single platform called a data lake. And once you have the entire data, for example, you are getting the data from here, 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 and here. What you have done, this data, this application may be available in some other server. This is available in some other server. So you have to extract this data from multiple data sources, from multiple locations, and store it into a data lake. So what is a data lake? A data lake is a centralized large repository for storing your entire enterprise data in a single location. It is a large repo for storing your data in a single location. Most of the time, the data that you're getting from the data sources will be the same format in the data lake. For example, you are getting it here from the CSV. Here also it will be there in the same CSV format. So it will be stored in the same raw format in the data lake. Once we have stored the data in the data lake, Whatever the data that we got from the data sources may not be usable for the analysis. I can't send directly to that BI team, machine learning team, DS team, because this data may have some kind of a duplicates. This data may have some kind of a null values. This data may have some kind of a normalization tables. This data may have some kind of a issues with the data. Okay, so what we have to do is that we need to properly clean the data. What we need to do? We need to properly clean the data. So that is what we call as a data processing. So once we got the data from the data sources, we are going to store it into the data lake for the data storage purpose, and then we are going to process the data. Why we are going to process the data? We need to remove the duplicates, we need to handle the null values, we need to handle some other data issues. So we need to properly clean the data, prepare the data for the analysis. Okay, all the pre-processing will be done in the data processing step. There are plenty of the tools available for this data processing activity. So you can have, you can think about a data processing tools such as Spark, Hadoop, and data flow. So plenty of the tools are there for the data processing activity. Okay, so after that, once we have properly cleaned the data, once we have properly prepared the data for the analysis, we are going to store the data. Most of the times, we are going to store the data into the data warehouses. A warehouse is a location where we are going to store the entire enterprise data in a single location, in a most of the times in a tabular format. And data warehouses comes up with a built-in query engine which is capable of running the SQL queries. With the help of the SQL, we are going to do the analysis. Those analysis reports will be useful for the BI, machine learning, DS, and business groups. Okay, so this is what is a activity, sir. You extract the data from the source streams. You send the data to the downstream by doing all of this activity. Each arrow mark here indicating that it is a pipeline. So extracting the data from the source and moving it to the data lake is a one single pipeline. From the data lake to the data processing to the data warehouse is a one more pipeline. And data warehouse to the BIRML, this is a one more pipeline. So as a data engineer, we have to create the data pipelines. As a data engineer, we have to take care about which solution for you, which solution we have to use it for the data lake. You have a plenty of the solution that are available for the data lake, such as Amazon S3 buckets or Azure Blob storages, or in the GCP we have a GCS. If you go to the Hadoop, you have a HDFS. Okay, so you have a plenty of the solutions available. So which solution we have to use? As a data engineer, we have to come up with a proper solution. We have to think about how to store this data, how to control the access to this data, and then we have to think about how to process this data. So to do the data processing, we have a plenty of the tools like Spark, MapReduce, or Hadoop, and we have a plenty of the tools like Dataproc, Databricks. Okay, and we have a glue. So we have to think about which tool we have to use, and we have to think about how to create the data processing pipelines, and which language we can use, PySpark or Scala or Java, or whichever language it is. So we need to think about how to extract the data from the source, and how to do the data processing activity, and how to load the data to the data warehouse. And once we have to set up a data warehouse, we have a plenty of solutions available again. We have a BigQuery, we have a Redshift, we have a Synapse Analytics, we have a Hive. So we need to think about which tool we have to use it for the warehousing purpose. Snowflake. Okay, so either it is for the BigQuery or Redshift or Synapse or Hive. So as a data engineer, If we are learning one service, that means we are learning all other tools as well. It doesn't mean that, sir, if I am learning the Google Cloud Storage today, do I have an experience in working with S3 and Azure? Can I be able to understand S3 and Azure? Yes, of course. So these, the way that they have developed is maybe different. The purpose of they have developed is same. The interface may be different, but the how you are going to work with each and every services here is same. For example, this category of services, the way that they work is same. The way that they respond for the data is same. Here also, you may be going to the Databricks, or you may be going to the Databricks or a Glue or whatever it is. The activity, the code that you are writing is same. Okay, how it will be responding to the data, how it will be processing the data, the backend may be the different. Similarly, in the data warehouse also. So, what is data engineering, guys? Data engineering is like getting the data from a multiple data sources, storing it into a single platform, and processing the data so that we can make the data into a usable format, and trying to store the data into a warehouses. And our downstream people are like BI, ML, DS, and data business groups. And not only that, we have to think about data governance and monitoring as well, because we are getting the data and we are loading the data to the some other teams. But who will be ensuring the data is accurate throughout the team? Who will be monitoring your pipelines and monitoring your activity? So that is what is nothing but a data governance and monitoring. Sometimes this entire team is different. Sometimes data engineers also take care of this thing. Okay, data governance and monitoring is also one more important aspect which talks about the data completeness, data accuracy, data effectiveness throughout this entire data engineering pipeline. Okay, we should also learn about data governance and monitoring as well. Okay, in a simple form, if I have to talk about what is data engineering is a process of collecting, organizing, preparing large amounts of the data so that it can be used to and analyzed. So data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the data analysis. That is what I have just told you. So if you wanted to do all of these things, we need to have an infrastructure to capture the data, to store the data, to process the data, and access the data. So there are two things. Our requirement is our purpose is to be used for the data analysis, to create the pipelines. But then the second important aspect is that we need to have the infrastructure. As a data engineer, we need to design the infrastructure. We need to build the infrastructure to do all of these activity. What is that activity? Capturing the data, storing the data, processing the data, and accessing the data. So data engineering is process of collecting, organizing, preparing the large amounts of the data for the data analysis. It involves designing and building the systems and infrastructure that allow data to be captured, stored, processed, and accessed efficiently. So this is what is a data engineering, sir. Okay. So in a data engineering, we extract the data, we process the data, we store the data, and we analyze the data in a single data pipeline in a different multiple locations or the services we can say. Okay. So this is what is a data engineering, guys. And if any, what is the role of a data engineer? So data engineer working on the data acquisition, nothing but extracting the data from the data sources. Data engineer is working on providing a data storage solution, as well as working on the data management such as access control, providing the access to the what kind of a users, all of those activity. Data processing, so which tool will be used for the data processing, how to do it, what are the code and how to write the code, all of those activity you have to take care of it. Data quality and governance and This is a very important aspect, guys, because whatever the data that you are handling and use it for the analysis, if your data is not quality enough, the results also not good. Okay, so whatever the data that you are handling should be quality, should be effective, should be accurate throughout the process. Otherwise, the results will be inaccurate. And next, system integration. And we don't wanted to do the system. We don't wanted to do this process manually. So we wanted to integrate multiple systems to automate the process. So that's where we create a pipelines. Performance optimization. So if one of the process or one of the query or one of the code is taking a lot of time, we as the data engineers work on those performance optimization. And monitoring and maintenance, which is a very one more important aspect where we have to monitor the process, monitor the pipelines, maintain the pipelines. If any of the upgrades needed, patch management, all of those things we have to take care. Otherwise, the performance degradation may happen. So we have to think about monitoring and maintaining our pipelines as well. Okay, so this is what we do for data engineer, guys. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Yeah. I have mentioned here, right? Performance optimization is something like you have created one of the SQL query. So it is taking a lot of time. Your client is saying that whenever I retrieve a data from that particular table, it is taking a lot of time for me. And the refreshing, you have given that query to one of the scheduler, and the scheduler taking like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's supposed to take 1 minute less than or 30 seconds only, but it is taking 10 minutes. It means the performance is not good. So you have to optimize your SQL query, or tomorrow it is a PySpark query. So you have to properly optimize your queries or your codes so that those codes will not take much time. It's supposed to take some time, but it is taking more time. So you have to work on that and you have to optimize it, which is a very, very, very important aspect as a data engineer. If you are going for an interview, at least 2 to 3 questions they are going to ask on performance optimization itself. Okay, very, very important aspect. We are going to see how we're gonna do it, how we're gonna be improve it, what are the techniques to do the data performance optimizations, how you can able to reduce the sorry, how we can able to increase the performance by using the different techniques. Okay, yeah. So all of these aspects one by one we are going to see it, guys. Don't worry at all. We have a plenty of time. I'm going to tell you the course details and course curriculum. And for this entire course, I have designed it in a way that we have a separate data engineering questions for the Google Cloud platform, SQL questions, Python questions, as well as commonly asked interview questions. And if you are going for the certifications, if you are going for the if you're going for any of the certifications like associate cloud engineer or a professional data engineer, everything is pre-planned. So I have spent a lot of time on this one, prepared everything. So you have we are having the lab sessions, we are having everything. We are going to practice in the Google Cloud platform only. In next few minutes I'm going to tell you all of those things. Meanwhile, if anyone have any questions on the data engineering, you can actually ask me. What is data engineering? If you guys have any questions, you can actually ask me, because our next topic is what is Google Cloud.
So
If
you
you
spoke
guys
about,
have any
I have a
questions,
question.
sorry, yes, please.
So you spoke about a lot of things there, like, you'll be covering the platform as GCP. That'll be good to understand the other platforms as well, like,
Correct,
Amazon and
correct,
AWS and Azure.
correct,
That is from
correct.
the platform side. So I am actually I started my career in IT 6 years ago. I'm in
Okay,
administration of these data warehousing products in Informatica.
okay,
So I've worked across a lot of tools that deal with
okay,
data cleansing or maintaining the data quality, or
correct.
maintaining the golden copies as such. So for me, coding is a brand new thing. After 6 years of working in all of these
Right.
platforms in
Yeah.
administration and platform setup. So
Okay.
what would you, or how would you suggest me to tackle this uh,
Yes.
problem of mine.
Yeah, I
Which
got
I
your
have.
question. I got your question. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to give you the answer at the end. Okay. So this is a,
Okay.
I mean, most of the people will have this kind of a question, but you are in a very good shape at this point of time. For you, it's just a code, right? For you,
Mhm.
it's just a code problem. Okay. Because you understand most of the things, whatever I talk.
Right.
But there are people in our class may not be able to understand the whatever I am saying today. Okay, for example, some people may understand the deep down Sari is telling about these different tools, and I already know these tools, but I do not know how to write a code. But writing a code nowadays is not a problem. Maybe 10 years before or 5 years before, whoever write a code, they are the winners, they are the highly paid jobs. But nowadays this is not about a code, and the
Agree.
software industry is not about a code. You have a plenty of the tools to generate the code. You just have to properly ask a question.
Yeah, we do
Okay.
have those LLMs. Yeah, I agree
Yes,
with.
of course. We have a plenty of. We are in a very good shape that we don't need to write a code. We don't spend a lot of time on the code, but we have to intellectual. We have to be very cautious how we can able to think about a proper solution. The solution building is important nowadays. Okay, writing the code is also important, but that's not the main important thing. Earlier it used to be that main important thing. Nowadays, that's a reason. Nowadays, more than a data engineers, more than a senior data engineers, solution architects are the highly paid job, because they are the ones actually. Because even though the entire task is done by the data engineers and the DevOps engineers, but the solution architect is the one who designs the solution. They are the ones highly paid jobs. So down the road, people wanted to become the solution architect. So thinking about a solution building is important rather than writing a code. So I'm going to tell you at the end. So maybe most of the people are here, maybe coming from a different background. Some people know about data engineering. Some people did not heard about what is data engineering at all. Some people may come from the IT, but some people may be coming from the mechanical background or a production background at all. Okay, so don't worry about. I'm going to talk about all of those things. Maybe in our next after 50 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to talk about all of those things. Okay.
Yep.
So let us see what is data in Google Cloud also, and then we can discuss a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to talk about the course curriculum and all your questions. I'm going to clear it out. There's no issues at that. So we have a plenty of time. We may be sitting for 9 up to 9 or 9:30 also. That's fine for me. So I have a time. So let us see what is Google Cloud. So be patient, guys. I just want you guys to be patient, because some things, if you, what the people will do is that, what the students will do is that, sir, I couldn't able to understand it. I may not be able to understand this point. I will go. I mean, I will leave the class. Okay, so I may not be able to understand this point. I will leave the class. The thing that what you are doing is that is mistake. So try to stay the entire time. If you are watching a movie, if you just go for 15 minutes, and if you go for like 5 minutes late, and if you are watching for the next 15 minutes, you may not understand the entire movie. Stay there for the next 2 hours of your movie and watch the entire movie. Then you will be able to think about that, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, whether you liked it or not liked it, whether you wanted to become a I mean, whether you wanted to go for the part one or part, so something like that. So stay there for the next 1.5 hours and try to think about all the aspects. Even though if you are unable to understand, that's totally fine. Okay, the demos are to give you some kind of idea. It's not that we are not starting any topic. Okay, in demos we are not starting any topic. Just stay here for next 1 hour and you will understand most of the things. What is curriculum, what is data engineering, the definitions we are talking about. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Google Cloud, very simple. So you might have heard about the AWS, you might have heard about the Azure. So what they do is that, so they actually provide the cloud computing services. They provide what, sir? They provide the cloud computing services. So when you are working in a company, you need to have the infrastructure. The companies are unable to manage their own infrastructure. So that's the reason cloud computing services came into the picture. Cloud providers came into the picture. What they do, whatever the infrastructure that you need it for, whatever the resources that you needed to build your application or a service or an activity, All the applications or the services or the infrastructure or the resources is provided by the cloud computing provider. So Google Cloud Platform is also one of the cloud provider like AWS and Azure. They also provide you the cloud computing services. What they do, sir? They provide you the cloud computing services. Those services are very useful for you to build the application, design the application, deploy the application, and scale your applications. Okay, so what is Google Cloud Platform, sir? Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider to provide you the cloud computing services to build your scale or deploy your applications in a Google's highly scalable infrastructure which is divided in multiple locations. Okay, so that is what is a Google Cloud, sir. So Google Cloud is a suite of cloud computing services provided by the Google that offers range of products and solutions which will be helping the organizations to build, deploy, and scale applications and services in the cloud. Sir, I wanted to create my own infrastructure. For example, maybe if you go some 10 years back, what will happen is that what the companies used to do is that they are building their own infrastructure at their own company. They have their own small data center. In the data center they buy the hardware, software, ram, cpus, all they are going to build it, they are going to connect it, and they are going to manage it. They are going to manage the 24 by 7 electricity, 24 by 7 um, whatever, see, water supply, cooling, all of those things they are going to do it. And then they make the entire system to be available over the network. Then after creating all of those resources, they are going to build the applications on top of them. They are going to deploy the applications on top of them. But some companies like startups or some companies like big companies don't want to waste time on building their own data centers. Instead, they are looking for a solution. That's what is cloud providers are for. So that's where the AWS came into the picture, Azure came into the picture, Google Cloud came into the picture. What they do is that they provide the cloud computing services for the organizations. They provide the cloud computing services for the organizations. For example, sir, you wanted to work with the Spark environment. If you wanted to work with the Spark environment, you have to create the cluster. A cluster is a collection of machines. A collection of machines means 3 to 4 machines will be there. You have to create the machines. You have to connect the machines to each other. You have to make the systems to be available over the network. Then you have to deploy your application on top of it. But instead, when you go to the Google Cloud or any other cloud, you have a separate service. For example, Dataproc. You can just create a cluster in few minutes. Instead of wasting a lot of time connecting this thing, that thing, cabling, networking, all of those things, instead of doing all of those such stuff, you can just create an infrastructure. You can just create a Dataproc cluster within a few minutes going to the Google Cloud platform. So Google Cloud is one of the leading cloud provider. What it will do is that they're gonna help you to build, deploy, and scale applications and services in the cloud. Okay, and it provides highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure that enables businesses to leverage the Google's extensive network and data centers. Okay, so Google Cloud Platform has a plenty of infrastructure. It was divided into multiple locations and data centers. So whenever you are deploying that application, that will be deployed on top of this infrastructure only. So who will be owning the infrastructure? Who will be managing the infrastructure now? The Google Cloud Platform is managing the infrastructure to you. So it's like this, sir. If I have wanted to give you a small example, what I will do is that just think about like this. Assume that you got a job in the metro cities. Okay. Assume that you got a job in the Hyderabad, for example. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to go to the company every day. So for that, you have to stay there in the Hyderabad only. Okay, you have to stay there in the Hyderabad only. 1 minute. So assume that you as a person here, you got a job in the Hyderabad. So what you have to do is that you have to think about how to stay in the Hyderabad. The first solution is that you can go to Hyderabad, buy a land of some 2 cents or 2.5 cents, construct a home for you. Construct, buy the land. First thing is like land. You have to buy the land and think about the construction of your house, and think about your all the utensils and equipment for you to like freeze AC, all of those things you have to think about it. You all the whatever we call it as, and after that we have to think about staying there and all of those things. This is a one idea. So for this one it is very costly, right? You have to buy the land, and after that you have to think about the construction. You have to think about all the equipment that you need it for you to stay at home. So you need to buy all of those things, and then you have to think about the food preparation and all of these things. So it is very costly model. If you think about this one, it is very costly model. Which is very costly, you have to buy the land and go for the construction and all of those things. This was a situation where 10 years before our IT industry. In IT industry, each company, if they wanted to create one application, what they do is that they're gonna be having their own data center. There's buy a land for the data center. Inside the data center, they buy the equipment, rack and stack they prepare, and after that they create the servers, and then they deploy the applications on top of it. Okay, similarly here also, this guy wanted to stay in Hyderabad, but he has to build an entire home for him. But instead what he can do is that, what he can do, sir, instead, can anyone tell me what he can do? If he don't wanted to do this all of these things, what he can do?
Rent one.
Correct. He can rent it. Whether a PG or a room or whatever it is, he can rent something, right? So he don't need to worry about all of this activity. So he just go to one of the apartment, or he can just go to PG or whatever it is. He can stay there for some time, or how much time he wanted to stay there, and he can able to rent it for some amount of time, some amount of money. So this is what is cloud computing. What is cloud computing, sir? Renting your computing resources from some cloud provider is nothing but a cloud computing. Cloud computing, some people may not be able to understand what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is that renting the resources. Who is providing the resources? Google Cloud is providing you the resources. You rent it. That means you use it for some amount of time, and you pay the money for that particular period, and the amount of resources you have utilized, you pay the money, and then you can whenever you don't want it, you can leave it. So that is what is a Google Cloud Platform, sir. Google Cloud Platform provides you the plenty of the services. It provides you the computing services. It provides you the identity and security services. It provides you the management tools. It provides you the networking tools. It provides you the big data tools, storage and database services, machine learning services. I might have given you only small set, guys. You have like more than 200 products and services. Sorry, more than 2000 products and solutions are available in the Google Cloud Platform. Okay, plenty of the solutions and products are available in the Google Cloud. For you, you can just rent them and use it for some amount of period, and you can just delete it afterwards if you don't need it. Whatever the amount of period and whatever the resources you have utilized, you pay it for it. So that is what we call as a cloud computing services. So what is Google Cloud Platform? Google Cloud Platform providing you the cloud computing services are, those services are utilized for your organization building and deploying and scale your applications in the cloud platform. Okay, so this is what is a Google Cloud, sir. Okay, so Google Cloud Platform is a suite of cloud computing services provided by the Google that offers a range of products and solutions to help organizations build, deploy, and scale applications and services in the cloud. GCP provides highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure that enables businesses to leverage the power of Google's extensive global network and data centers. So, all whatever the topic I mentioned here, how to build it, how to deploy it, how to scale it, how, where is this locations, how we can able to what are the types of locations, what are the region, what are the zones. All of these concepts will come into the picture, guys. Okay, don't worry, sir. I may not be able to understand each and every point. I may be understanding the general terms, but I may not be able to understand few terms, sir. What to do? Don't worry. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to work on these Google Cloud Platform only for next 40 plus hours. So you will understand everything. Don't worry. So these are the service. This is the service portfolio where all the services are categorized here. Most of the services, only commonly used services I have categorized. You have a plenty of other services as well. Compute, identity and security management tools, networking, big data, and storage and databases. Our main focus is on this thing. And if you wanted to understand what we are going to learn from tomorrow onwards, the course curriculum will be like this, sir. We are going to understand what is why we need the cloud platform. I'm going to give you a very important understanding of why we need the cloud platform tomorrow. So please don't forget that tomorrow's class. And we are going to understand the on-premises versus cloud. If you understand, or if you understand how the people are working in the on-premises, then only you all appreciate the technology of the cloud. Okay, so if you appreciate the technology of the cloud, then you wanted to work in the cloud. Then when you wanted to work in the cloud, that's where the zeal and learn will come into the picture, and you will start learning. And what is Google Cloud Platform? Introduction, why we learn the GCP, opportunities, certifications. We are going to see all of those things. And if one wanted to, as a data engineer, I wanted to work in the Google Cloud Platform, sir. What are the services? What are the services are there? What are the interfaces are there? We have a console, we have a cloud shell, we have a SDK. So we need to learn about what is console, how to work with console, what is cloud shell, how to work with cloud shell, what is SDK, how to work with SDK. All of these things we have to learn. And after that, I'm going to give you how the console walkthrough looks like, how to set up a project, how to enable the building and APIs. So all of these things we have to learn one by one. Similarly, in GCP, we have a locations. Google's infrastructure is divided into multiple locations. So we have to understand GCP locations, what is regions, what is zones, the importance and selection criteria. Okay, so we have to understand how the GCP locations and how it is divided into regions and zones, how to select a proper region and proper zone, and the importance of each and every aspect. And after that, how to provide the access. So we need to control the access. Everyone cannot be directly working on the access on each service. I don't want it to, and the companies don't want it to provide the access to all the people. So some people will be getting some access, some people will be getting some other access. So how to do that, sir? If you wanted to take care of the security and access control, you have to go to the IAM and admin services. So here we have to understand the what are identities, how to assign a role, what is a role, what is a policy, how to assign a policy, how to create a policy, how to update a policy, what is a resource hierarchy. So all of these things we have to understand. And next thing, this compute options is a small thing, guys. I mean, as a data engineer, you should not know about it, but you should have a small, at least definition wise, what is compute engines, and what is Kubernetes engines, what is app engines, what is cloud functions. So at least you need to have some idea. Okay, so for those people who wanted to go for the certification, they need some idea on this compute option. So I'm also covering those options as well. What is virtual machines, what is containers, what is app engines, what is cloud functions. So we are going to understand those things as well. Okay, so this is all the GCP overview, only related to the overview, sir. We are not entered into the data engineering tools. Plenty of the data engineering tools are there. We are going to cover. So this is just the overview of the topic. And then we have to understand the Google Cloud Platform. So according to the data, I'm going to tell you, for example, when you are working in a company, assume that you are getting a data, right? Our source is a data only, right? We get the data, and the data will be divided into multiple ways. For example, you can have a unstructured data, you can have a semi-structured data, you can have a structured data. Okay, I'm going to give you the definitions in our upcoming sessions. What is unstructured, what is semi-structured, what is structured. Unstructured means no structure to the data. Semi-structured means some amount of structure is there to your data. Structured means tabular data. which is having a schema assigned properly. Okay, so unstructured, semi-structured, and structured. So if you wanted to work with unstructured data, you have a Google Cloud Storage. If you wanted to work with semi-structured data, you have a OLTP system, OLAP system. For both of them, you can use Bigtable. What is OLTP? What is OLAP? OLTP is a transactional database. OLAP is an analytical database. Nothing but a data warehouse. We will see what is this one and what is that one in our upcoming sessions also. And we are going to learn about a Bigtable here. Similarly, OLAP, in a structured also we have a OLTP. For that one, we have a Cloud SQL. For OLAP, we have a BigQuery. Okay, so you have a plenty of different tools are available for structured data as well. So we are going to learn about what is these are the data engineering tools, guys. You have a GCS, you have a Bigtable, you have a Cloud SQL, you have a BigQuery. Similarly, if you wanted to create the data pipelines, we are going to learn about how to create a Spark pipelines, how to create a Hadoop pipelines using the data proc. In the data proc, we are going to learn about Python, which Spark is nothing but a PySpark. We are going to learn about PySpark, guys, in the data proc for creating a Spark and Hadoop pipelines. Similarly, if you wanted to create a Beam pipelines, we are going to learn about data flow, which is Beam with Python, Apache Beam with Python. And if one wanted to create a pipelines using a code free without writing any code, if you wanted to create a pipelines, you can also use graphical user interface for creating a pipelines. So data fusion without writing any code also you can create a pipelines. So this is also there. This is also we are going to understand. And then for managing, for example, you here also you have created pipelines here, you have created pipelines here, you have created pipelines here. So you need to orchestrate them. Orchestration means manage the pipelines, monitor the pipelines, schedule the pipelines. So if you wanted to do it, we need to learn about workflow orchestration tool. One of the common tool is Airflow or a Composer. We need to learn about a Airflow also or a Composer also. Both are same, just a different name. That's it. And if we wanted to build your infrastructure, we are going to learn about Terraform also. So this is what is also we are learning, sir. Okay, so we are learning about data proc, data flow, data fusion, airflow, and Terraform. Okay, what are the data engineering tools we are learning, sir? We are learning about the Google Cloud Storage, Bigtable, Cloud SQL, BigQuery. We are learning about data proc, data flow, data fusion, airflow, and Terraform. Okay, all of these topics are we are going to cover. If one wanted to see the detailed course content, I'm going to share you the link, guys. So here we have the PDF where we have a detailed course curriculum. Hope you all can see my screen. So Google Cloud training with the real-time projects. So the course duration is this one: mode online, language English, trainer Sheikh Saidhul. GCP basics, as I just told you. Cloud introduction, key services and products, understanding the benefits and how to create. And I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account, guys. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this thing. And interfaces, you have a console, you have a cloud shell, you have a BigQuery SDK. So we have to understand how to work with each and everything. And the locations, we have a regions, we have a zones, and we have a importance of those things. Nothing but a selection criteria. And when you come to the GCP IM and admin, you have identities, roles, policy, resource hierarchy. And GCP basic networking components like VPC, load balance, and firewalls, how to create them. Compute options also. Compute engine. So these things are very minimal, guys. So don't expect from these two topics. Networking and compute options is to give you some idea. It's not that you are going to work on these activities. Okay, you are not going to work on networking and compute options. To give you some ideas that this is, if in companies some people talk about VPC, so if you don't know VPC, and then you will be unable to understand what is VPC. Just to give you some idea what is VPC and all. Okay, it gives you some explore, you can explore something, but it's not, you are not going to work on these things. Okay, after that, Kubernetes, app engines, function. This is some, I'm going to just give you what is definition, what is what only. But all other data engineering tools and IAM and admin, those are the activities that you are going to work on every day. So you have to know, learn all of those things. And data engineering services, cloud storage, very much we have to understand all the activities. What is cloud storage, operations, data transfer, lifecycle management, versioning and object versioning, integration with other services, best practices. Cloud SQL. What is Cloud SQL? How to create the Cloud SQL instances, how to take care of the backup, scaling, performance optimization, integration with other services. Big table, all the things. BigQuery. This is very important, guys. We are here. We are going to learn about SQL development, and here we have a project also. Okay, we have a two types of case studies here: a Spotify case study, social media case study. I'm gonna share you this thing. For example, if you go to the BigQuery here, you have a Spotify case study. All the things are readily available. Here you have a social media case study. Here also all the scripts and everything is available for your practice. Okay, so I have created a very important material here for you guys. So what is BigQuery and how to work with BigQuery? BigQuery assignment, partition clustering, nested fields and repeated fields. What is a view? What is a materialized view, index view, and this thing. Okay, each and every service will be like that only. So Cloud SQL, how to connect to the Cloud SQL, data migration in the IC. In the Cloud SQL also we have a one of the project, a data migration project. Okay, so MySQL on this one and on all of these things, how to create a virtual VM and data migration services, all of those details. And for the GCS also, what is Google Cloud Storage, how to create a bucket in the Cloud Shell, how to create a bucket and how to create a bucket using the commands also we have seen all the things here. Dataproc, what is Hadoop, what is Hadoop versus Spark, Spark versus PySpark, Spark introduction, cluster creation, lab sessions, all the lab codes and everything is available here only. You see here, all the codes are available. And data time functions, case study 1, case study 2, case study 3, case study 4, assignment, and interview questions. Every service is like that. Whatever I am talking about here, BigQuery or whatever it is, whatever I have mentioned here, everything including the lab sessions we are going to cover. I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account also. Go back to the PDF. So BigQuery, all of SQL optimization, data integration and exporting, access control, other GCP services. Dataproc, we are going to learn about the PySpark development. I told you that Python with Spark we are going to learn. Okay, so you can go to my notes. I'm going to copy this link and paste it to you guys so that you can actually look at it. So I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to paste it in the chat. Please take it from here. This is for everyone. So the link I have pasted here, you can access the link for the course curriculum, guys. Okay, I have pasted the Google Drive link. You can copy the link from the chat so you can access this particular course curriculum. Apache Beam with the data flow. What is data flow? How to create the pipelines using the data flow, monitoring and integrating with other techniques. PubSub. PubSub also we are learning, guys. What is topic, how to create a topic, how to create a subscriptions, all of those things. Cloud Composer, nothing but Airflow. We are going to create a DAG creations, DAG workflows, how to create a workflows, how to create a ETL pipelines, how to integrate the other DCP services in the Google Cloud Composer, how to schedule them, how to manage them, how to monitor them. All of those things we are going to learn here. And data fusion, how to create a data pipelines without writing any code. You don't need to write any code to create the pipelines or do the transformations, anything. Nothing can be created using the code. Everything we are going to do it with help of the UI, user interface tool. Terraform to create your infrastructure. So if you wanted to create or automate your infrastructure, you have to use the Terraform. So Terraform is cloud agnostic. Many people are using this Terraform. So how to provision the infrastructure using the Terraform? What are the variables, outputs, functions? the best practices, all of those things we are going to discuss. And we are going to have a projects and case studies many. So data analysis, two data analysis project in the SQL, ETL case studies many, 4 to 5 ETL case studies in the data proc, and you have a two data processing with the streaming data in the data flow and PubSub. And here we have a level 1, level 2, level 3, three levels of DAX that we are going to create for the orchestration purpose in the Google Cloud Compose, or nothing but Airflow. So total we have a four. This is, you can think of a 4 projects, or you can think of a 8 to 9, at least 9 plus case studies we are going to discuss. So total 9 case studies, which gives you a very good understanding of how a data engineer working in a company and a real time. So you can use these things in your project. You can keep this in your resume also. You can explain them. So that also I will explain. And by the end of this course, what the students can expect, this can be as one of the question from one of the people. I wanted to discuss it here itself. So you are going to learn about proficient in SQL development, how to do the SQL development. You are going to learn about PySpark development skills. You are going to attain PySpark development skills. You are going to become a master in the Apache Beam development, Apache Beam development mastery. You are going to create the DAG creations and Cloud Composer. How to create the DAGs in the Cloud Composer. Architecture planning. This is very important, guys. Proficient in architecting and end-to-end data solutions in the GCP. You are going to get that kind of a knowledge. Certification readiness. So if you are going for the professional data engineer certification or associate cloud engineer certification, this course gives you almost all the topics covered here. And so this is what is a summary. The course will empower the students with the practical skills in SQL, PySpark, Apache Beam, DAG creations, and architecture planning, ensuring that they are well prepared to tackle real-world data engineering solutions and successfully obtain the GCP certifications. Okay, go to my course curriculum. Try to read and read every point of it, guys. Try to read every point of it. Okay, so this gives you a very good confidence that Sari is going to cover each and every aspect or not. As a data engineer, are all the topics are covered here or not? You are going to get it from this course curriculum. This is a very I spent a lot of time to create this course curriculum itself. It is of 8 pages. Okay, so all the topics are going to covered here with the 45 hours of effort, nothing but close to 2 months of 2 months, guys. Okay, 2 months. And my name is Sheikh Saidhul. You can connect with me on LinkedIn also. That's fine. Okay, so this is what I might have given some idea here. Sorry. So these topics I have mentioned in a course curriculum also with the detailed descriptions. You can go and check it there. And this is to give you some idea the categorization of how. And each service like GCS Bigtable also course curriculum, you have a proper descriptions. Similarly for the data proc, data flow, data fusion, airflow, and terraform with the proper descriptions I have mentioned. Now coming to the course details. Coming to the course details. So course duration is actually 45 hours, nothing but a 40 days. Actually, it should be 45 hours. 1 minute, guys. It's not. It's 45 hours, I would say, usually. So 45 hours means close to 2 months, guys. Okay, 2 months, daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday, guys. Our sessions will be Monday to Friday. So delivery mode will be online live sessions, guys. Okay, online live sessions we are going to have it. The add-ons. So we will be providing the video recordings, comprehensive material. I told you I have just given you the comprehensive material, and I may not be showing you the in the material. If you go to my first page, I will provide you the access to my notes, guys. Okay. In our upcoming sessions, I will provide you the access to my notes. Once all the registrations are completed, I will provide the access to my notes. So you have here the GCP basic topics and GCP data engineering topics, prerequisite for the course, and interview. So for those people who wanted to create their interview, who go for the interviews, if you wanted to prepare your resumes, you have a resume templates here. If you double click on it, this entire zip file will be downloaded to you. And introduction. If you are going for an interview, what you have to talk about. Sir, this is the introduction. Hi, interviewer name. So, good morning. Thanks for connecting with me. My name is this one. I have completed this one. I have total this much years of experience. From last 3 years, I have been working in the Google Cloud projects. And introduction to the project also here. I'm working on a BigQuery like project. We are getting a data from multiple data sources like SQL Server. So you have to tell this project. So introduction. So this is your when you are going for an interview, they're going to ask you. This is the first question. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your project. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your project. If they are asking you to create architecture design, you have it here. You have it here. How to create a architecture diagram for this particular project. Same project. So you have to keep this in your resume also. In your interview also, you have to tell the same thing. We are going to cover all of these things. Commonly asked data engineering questions. Question and answer. Question and answer. You have question and answer available here. Okay. All the commonly asked questions. Okay. What is Google Cloud Storage? What are the 4 storage classes in the Google Cloud Storage? Questions with answers. You have it here. Data engineering questions and answers. So I am sure that if they are asking 10 questions, 8 questions, I'm pretty damn sure that 8 questions will be repeated from here only. If anything, sir, I got 7 questions, so only 3 questions from outside. If you are telling me, then I am going to keep on attending the interviews also myself. I will be attending the interviews almost every week, at least one interview I'll be attending, not for joining the company, to get the trend of the companies, to get the trend of interviewers. Okay, so myself, I will be joining the interview every once in a week. I will go for the interview myself, and I will go for the interview questions. Whatever they are asking, I will come here and add it. Not only the data engineering questions, SQL questions, commonly asked interview questions in the SQL. So they're going to ask you to write a SQL code. Commonly asked SQL codes are also here. Okay, so it's everything. Python questions also commonly asked. What is the list? What is the difference between the list and dictionary? All the things are mentioned properly here. This is not from just I did not go to the Google and try to search for these questions. No, these questions are purely, you can also see that. So the questions you will be able to reverse the order of the elements in the Python. This is not a question that you find it in the some Google search engine. No, I did not go to the Google search engine and find these questions. These questions are common. Maybe for the answers I might have go to the Google, but the questions are from the interviews. Questions are from the interviews only. Okay, plenty of the questions are here. So for those people who wanted to go for the certifications, if you wanted to easily crack the certifications, I have here the DOMS, which is very, very, very useful for you to crack the certification exam. Associate Cloud Engineer, Professional Data Engineer. You have the 2 certifications. I'm telling you, if you are having a 50 questions, at least 20 questions will be repeated. At least 20 questions. You just have to do 10 more questions. That's it. You can able to just crack the interview. Some people say that I got almost all 30 plus questions from the PDE dumps. Some people also told me. Okay, so my course with my course plus this certifications dumps will give you to write your exam and crack your exam easily. Okay, so I have here all the things, and we are going to cover GCP cloud account, how to create an account. I'm going to tell you in our upcoming sessions how to create a free tier account in the GCP. I will tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. I have created a video also here. I will share it with you guys. Prerequisite for creating an account. By why we have to create an account, sir? Everything, every lab session, it is more of a practical session. We are going to have a more of a practical instead of theoretical, sir. My way of teaching is 80%, 20%. 80-20. My model of teaching is 80-20. 80 means 80% practical scenarios, 20% is theoretical. Okay, so theoretical concepts I'm going to tell you clearly, and I'll go to the lab sessions and we are going to demonstrate everything there only. We are going to experiment each and every activity in the GCP only, Google Cloud Platform only. How the interface looks like. If you go to the Google Cloud, if you go to the Google and you can search with the console.cloud.google.com. This is how our interface looks like. Let me show you. Console.cloud.google.com. So I have created my free tier account. This is my free tier account, sir. I'm going to show you. See here, free trial status. I have 18,000, almost 90 days of free trial they are going to give you. If you go to the billing section, you will be able to see few more. They are going to give you, Google is providing you free tier account for next 90 days, guys. Okay, I am already completed some 35 days, so I have left with 55 days. You can create any number of accounts, and your free credit will be 24,000. Out of 24,000, I have already utilized some amount. I am left with 18,000. This is free trial credit. You don't need to pay a single rupee also. Okay, so this is what is how I'm going to tell you how to create an account. All the services here only. For example, BigQuery, here only BigQuery you have. Okay, so all the tables you can able to create it like this. So this is how you'll be having everything, guys. Okay, yeah. So this is how I'm going to tell you how to create an account, how to activate your account, how to work with all of these services one by one. That we will see. And how to install the SDK. Some people wanted to work with the SDK. How to install the SDK, how to work with the SDK also I'm going to tell you. The basic Linux commands you must know. The basic Linux commands also, Linux basics also I will give you. Okay, so that is all other topics we are going to have it here. And where are we? Yeah. So video recordings, comprehensive material, and assignments. Every topic has its own assignments. I'm going to give you the assignments. Real-time projects and case studies, interview questions as I told you, certifications dumps as I told you, resume assistance. Nothing but a resume templates. I will share it with you. Sorry. So all of these things is an add-on to you guys. Every day you will be getting your video recording for our session. I suggest you to go for the live session, guys. These are all live sessions only. I want you guys to attend at 7:30 to 8:30 from today onwards. The sessions are going to start. So these are today and tomorrow is the demo sessions. All are free to attend the demo sessions. Okay, from Monday onwards, all the sessions are live, and all the sessions are going to be started regular sessions from the Monday onwards. So you have to register for the course, and whenever you register for the course, I suggest you to attend the live session instead of going for the recording. You will also get the video recording, but it's just in case if you are missing the class. I suggest you to, even when you have a some other important aspect, also go for this live session only. Video recordings, I will share you the comprehensive material. Once you have registered for the course, I will tell you how to create an account, and each topic will have the assignments, real-time projects and case studies, interview questions I just told you, case certification terms I just shown you, resume assistance also I will show you. I have shown you. So all these things are already there in the notebook only. I just have to provide the access to the notebook. That notebook is something that very useful, even though if you wanted to go for the interview also. And the prerequisite for the course. The prerequisite, some people will be asking, what is the prerequisite for the course there? So the prerequisite for the course is familiarity with the SQL. You must know about the SQL familiarity. So you should know what is SQL, how to work with the basics of the SQL. If you know, that is more than enough for this course. Okay, if you are if you don't know also what you have to do, you have a weekend, this weekend, right? You spend at least 3 to 4 hours, you will get the familiar to the SQL. That is more than enough. Okay, yeah. And after that, the target audience for this course, aspiring data engineers. If you wanted to learn, if you wanted to becoming in a highly skilled, sir, some people say machine learning, some people say data scientist, some people say DevOps. Those are the highly paid jobs, but don't think that data engineers are the highly paid jobs. No one knows it. But even though if you go to the Google and if you go to the YouTube and find or search, data engineers are the highly paid job. Data engineering is the highly paid job. Data analyst, if you are a data analyst and a data scientist, if you wanted to become a data engineer, this is a good choice. Even I tell you guys, most of the data scientists also become a data engineer. Okay, data engineering is the foundation. Most of the data scientists and machine learning also they become the data engineers because it is a highly paid job. Data engineering is a trending and highly paid job. Most of the people does not know it. I'm telling you, I've been in the same field from this one. I have seen many people moving from the machine learning data scientist DevOps to the data engineering, software engineers and developers who are software engineers, or I am a database developer, ETL developer, I'm a BI professional. Sir, I wanted to, I'm in a IT industry, I'm in a mechanical industry, I'm in a production industry, sir. I wanted to become a data engineer. This is a course for you guys. And those who are planning for the AS and PDA certifications also, they can go for this course. Okay, so all the things are properly, clearly mentioned here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand. We have quite a more people here today, and please ask me. And we have a different sessions are going on, guys, in the Zoom only. So if you are unable to hear some people also, no issues. Please raise your hand. I'm going to go one by one. If you have any question to any of the topic, or if you have any question to any of the sir, I am in this situation, can I go for this course or not? If you have such kind of question also, you can ask me. I will be able to answer it.
Hi, sir.
Yes, please. I have 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to go one by one. Please raise your hand if you have any question. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, Vinod Kumar. Yes, Vinod. Yes, tell me. So knowledge is, I'm going to say, a basic knowledge. If you, sir, for Python and SQL, the basic knowledge. If you know how to create a table, if you know understand select DDL and DML, that's more than enough. DDL means create, select, create, update, insert, and if you know the where conditions having group by and aggregations. If you know these concepts, that is what. Yeah, and about Python also. Yeah, for the Python also. Yeah, for Python also, if you know about the data structures like this one, data types and data structures like list to tuple, basic idea. You don't need to learn. No one will be. Even if you ask me what is the difference between list and tuple, I will take some time and I will give you the answer, because we are not going to remembering anything. We just have to understand the concept. So what is list? How the list look like? What is a range? What is a tuple? And likewise, I have here mentioned, actually I'm going to show you. I have mentioned here those people, sir, I wanted to go for this course, so they have to work on this basic SQL concepts, basic Python concepts, data types, variables. Yes. No, no, actually we are not covering these topics, but by utilizing this concept we are going to do some SQL development. Okay, there you will understand anyway how to create a table. I will ask you how we are going to create a table. We are going to insert the data. We are going to update the data. We are going to delete the data, truncate the data. We are going to use from, where, having, all of these things. And Python concepts, I suggest you to go at least learn this until here at least. What is data type, what is variable, what is conditions, that's it. Like all other things you will be learning in our Python sessions. We have a PySpark. In the PySpark you will learn all of these things one by one. But if you know these things like this thing and this thing, that's more than enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna paste this thing also in the chat for you. For those people, sir, I have a time in the weekend, I wanted to practice these things, can you paste it to me? Then I'm pasting it to you in the chat. Please copy it from the chat. Okay, please copy it, guys. All of you copy it. Even though you are practicing or not practicing, also that's not a problem. Just go and practice these things for just 1 week. I'm telling you, it's a lifetime settlement, because data engineering is a lifetime settlement job. Yeah, I will be covering the required Hadoop as well, guys. Yes. Oh, come on, sir. Will you covering the GCP as well? So this course is more of a GCP only. We are covering the GCP content. You did not know it, I guess. Here, you see, all these are GCP only. Wherever I have seen, everywhere I mentioned GCP only, and still you are asking that will you cover the GCP? That's a different question for me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, GCP is covered. If you have any questions in the chat, also you put, guys. I'm gonna go to the chat. Also, I'm gonna look at it, the chart as well. Okay. Yes. Yes. This guy, Vigneshwar Kuppusamy. Hello, Vignesh. Yes, Vignesh. Yes, tell me, Vignesh. Your voice is breaking, Vignesh. I can't hear you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, clear. Okay. See, I'm telling you this thing, guys. So for those people, maybe you are 6 years. In our previous sessions, we have 10 plus, 15 plus years of experience. Guys also was there in the class. So it's like this. You are in anywhere, whatever your field is. Okay, whatever your field is, you can use the same experience, but you can say that I worked on the GCP for last 2 years, and you can enter into the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform because Google Cloud platform with the data engineering opportunity is very high, and you're going to get a lot of calls. Okay. Did you ever get at least 3 interviews? Have you gone to 3 to 4 interviews in a week? Okay, 3 to 4 interviews, not calls. We are not talking about the calls. Calls you will get 20 plus. We are not talking about the calls. We are talking about the interview scheduled. So have you attended every day one interview for 1 week? This is that kind of a course we are talking about. This is that kind of a course. Some people will wonder. Some guy told me, sir, I was in a mechanical background, worked for some like 3 to 3.5 years, and I never get a call. I hardly get a call once in a month. One call in a month. That means even I did not bother that I did not go to the interview level also. One call every month. But for this GCP data engineering course, I can give you the assurance from the January 15 onwards, maybe not December here, not this time. Okay, people are getting calls, people are scheduling, but calls now less because the month year end. But if you start attending the interview once after the course completion, I'm telling you, every day one interview will be scheduled for you. At least in a week, you will be getting at least 15 plus calls, 1 5. 15 plus calls you'll be getting. So that's how the capacity of this course. Most of the people does not know because Google Cloud platform is new, but people does not know that when a new course is introduced, when it is trending, the manpower is required. Manpower is required. The companies have a GCP projects, but there are no skilled persons available in the company. So the manpower is less. When the manpower is less, then the opportunities are very high. The demand for those peoples are very high. And one more thing, sir, I can also become a Azure data engineer, AWS data engineer also. You can become. I'm not saying that you can't become. You can become a AWS and a Azure data engineer. The problem is that you can't compete with the competition. For 100 jobs, you will be having a competition of 500 people. For 100 jobs, 500 to 1,000 competition, skilled persons are available because that's an established market. For GCP, for 100 jobs, you don't get 100 persons at all. Okay, you don't get a skilled 100 persons outside. Okay, that's the problem with the GCP. That means you can able to easily learn it. You can able to easily get to the company within 3 months. I'm telling you, by the course completion of after 1 month of course completion, I'm telling you, everyone will get the job. The only thing is that everyone means, sir, I am not learning anything. I have attended. I have registered for the course. Can I also get the job? No. You have to put your effort. You have to learn the labs. You have to learn the coding, you have to learn the concepts clearly, then go for the interview and try to read all these interview questions. Even now also, if you are preparing your resume using this template, and if you are putting your resume in the Naukri or LinkedIn, if you are preparing these SQL questions without anything, you can also crack the interview. But you have to make sense to your job, right? So when you're working in a company, you have to make sense to your role. So if you wanted to make something, if you wanted to do it, or if you wanted to make a career out of your role, then you have to learn each and every aspect clearly. So this course is for you. Okay. Yeah. So don't think, even though you are 6 years or 7 years or 8 years, if you don't know how to learn how to write a code, no worries. And you do not know how to use it, just make it. For last 2 years, 2.5 years, I worked on a Google Cloud platform. Prepare a resume like that. All other things 4 years, whatever you are doing, you can put it those 4 years. And last 2.5 years, you put it GCP, data engineer. Prepare the resume like that. Start attending the interview. Get the calls, crack the interview. No, don't crack only one interview. People will do this mistake only. I suggest to my students, don't crack one interview. So if your package is 6 LPA, your package is 10 LPA, your package is 6 LPA, for example, you are having 2.5 years experience, your package is 6 LPA. Don't crack one interview. Crack one more interview, or if possible, crack third interview as well. You will get calls. But when you get calls, you can able to easily sit for the interview. Okay. When you crack second interview, first interview you may be getting to the 10 LPA. For second interview, going to the 14 LPA. Third interview, your package is going to the 18 LPA. Okay, you can demand it like that. Okay, so because there is a demand for the data engineers in the Google Cloud platform. Okay, yeah, I think yes, we are using that. Right? Yeah, here we have it. Correct, correct. Yeah, Google Cloud is yes, 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 correct. So Google Cloud is very famous for the data engineering. That's why I wanted to tell you. Okay, data engineering and data processing, Google Cloud is very famous. The service cost is also very less. So that's the reason most of the companies are using. Why companies are using? Because the benefit of the cost. Yeah. Yes, Raman Kishore. No, you do not have any age limit. We just have to learn it. See, for example, sir, I'm a project manager. I wanted to learn because I am managing a Google Cloud project. I need to learn. So, in my previous session, some of the guy having a 19 years of experience. What that guy wanted to do is that he is a project manager for one of the, I think, Infosys company, I guess. He was a project manager there. So, he wanted to attend the course because he was known to me and he attended my course and he was now leading a best team for this Google Cloud. Because when you're working or when you're managing your projects or when you're creating a solutions in the solution architect level, you need to know the components of the GCP. You need to have a clear cut idea of that GCP services. So this course gives you. And even though, sir, I'm an IT industry, I have a 15 years of experience. I wanted to go into the GCP data engineer. You put the last 3.5 years, 4 years as a GCP data engineer, and then start attending the interviews. Okay. Anything you wanted to go as a senior data engineer, or you wanted to go as a solution architect, you wanted to go as a lead engineer, you wanted to go as a project manager, you must know the GCP if you are working in the GCP. If you are targeting for the GCP projects, yeah. We are setting up the infrastructure using the Terraform only. Okay, yeah, we are setting up the Terraform only, and I will tell you the Terraform concepts. I will also teach you the Terraform concepts, and I will teach you how to create the infrastructure using the Terraform. We are building the infrastructure using the Terraform. Yeah, Arjun.
Hi, sir. My question is regarding the certification part. So,
Okay,
which one is better, associate cloud engineer or professional
first do
data
this one.
engineer?
First do where is that? First do associate cloud engineer. Okay, target for this.
So, okay. So, difference, sir.
The difference is
Like,
this one. Associate cloud engineer, not for only the data engineers. Associate level certifications is to basic certification for the Google Cloud platform. Okay. So basic certification means it can be done by the DevOps engineer. Sorry, there is a DevOps engineer. There is a machine learning engineer. There is a developer. So whoever it is, they can do this basic level certification.
so I
Okay.
have done one cloud practitioner certificate. So, is
That's
it
in the
same?
AWS. Yeah, that's in the
Oh,
AWS. But if you do it in here, it gives you some idea. And if you wanted to go directly to the professional data engineer, it is specific to the data engineer only. Then you can do this thing also.
sure, sir.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
another
specific to
question
the
is
data
regarding.
engineer. Sorry?
So, no, okay, sir, I got that point. So, I have another question. Like, so are we learning the how we deploying the notebooks to
Of course.
Jupyter Lab? Yeah.
Of course. Yes. Of course, we are learning. See, whatever I have shown here, it is a notebook only. Let me show you. Maybe,
Mhm.
for example, if I go here, for example, data proc, and you might be seeing not here lab sessions. This is a notebook only. You can see here the extension of the notebook. Do you be able to see it? IPYNB Python
Yes, sir.
notebook. Yeah. So this is
Yeah, yeah,
notebooks only. All these are notebooks only. Yeah.
yeah. That's it,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone, please? Yes. Yes. Python basics you focus, but the SQL you focus on those concepts, whatever I mentioned, because if you know the SQL, you can best understand the Python also. Yeah, it's enough. It's enough. If you are going for this course, whatever I have pasted here, right? That's enough. Yeah, I will be talking about. See, these are the concepts. So we will be doing the development in our classes. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think it's already 9. Uh, I think I have given you some idea about what is this and all. Hope you got some idea about the data engineering course, all of the other topics and timings, everything. The timings are same every day, 7:30 to 8:30, guys. There are no changes in the time. We will meet from tomorrow onwards. Don't forget to attend the class. Tomorrow and after tomorrow is the demo sessions only. Please attend the sessions. Okay? Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye, guys.